Well, that's what I was saying for like the red pill community. They're like always like, don't marry women with children. It's like, well,
Why?
Mr. Brady did.
Yeah.
So their marriage was pretty great.
What's wrong with a woman that already has children? There's nothing wrong with her. If anything,
Well,
she proves...
all they do is hate on single moms. It's just like every single woman that had a relationship where they had a kid and it didn't work out. It's just they're ruined forever.
Why is she
how
the
they
one
view
that's
it.
ruined?
That's just their
They
thesis.
think she's
I don't think
used
it's
up.
that
Because the
she's
real
ruined.
issue is she's not fucking them. That's what it really bothers them. So that's the cope that they come up with to not feel so bad about the fact that she didn't choose them and she's not fucking them and she never would fuck them.
She probably has a good reason.
Or she's like choosing the children before him, obviously.
You took the words right out of my mouth. She
Yeah.
probably has
Well,
a good
the
reason.
problem
She
is
has children to take care of
Yeah.
and not a grown man who's acting like a child. That
Yeah, the reality is the woman has low interest in the guy, so he never becomes a priority. She only will see him when it's convenient for her. But if she really truly loves the guy, she's going to want him involved in the child's life to be a step parent as
Absolutely.
well. But
If he acted like a real man.
if she don't feel safe with the guy, and it's just a booty call, she's not going to let him anywhere near her kids.
that's for damn sure.
I had an email I'd read recently. A guy had been dating this woman, I don't know, better part of a year, and he loved her kids, but he would kind of meet them and hang out a little bit at her house, but they never did anything together. No, there was no family time or none of that shit. And he was getting all mad and butthurt and upset about it, and then she couldn't find the time to go out with them, and yet they're boyfriend girlfriend. I was like, I lowered the boom on him and had to tell him the reality was that he was just an occasional booty call that she locked up, so she probably didn't have to worry about getting a disease by him sleeping around, but she would only see him like every 2 weeks.
I remember that. Yeah.
And the reality is she had low interest in him, and she didn't want him anywhere near her kids. That's
You
why
gotta
she
earn
never...
your way up there. To
Yeah,
your
if you've been
kids.
dating a girl for a year and you're not, you don't do family things together. Because like during the holidays, she's like, "Oh, those are things for married couples." In other words, she's insinuating, well, the only way we would hang out as a family with you, me, and the kids is if we were married.
Yeah.
So that can be the excuse that makes sense, but the reality is she doesn't love him enough,
Or trust him.
enough,
doesn't-
doesn't feel safe and comfortable enough with him around their kids to even want to involve him as a step parent. Even though he's trying to volunteer for it and wants to do it, her interest is low and she has no interest in that.
I was talking to a friend of mine who has children, and she recently broke up with one of her only boyfriend. But I had a conversation with her, and I was asking her, do you ask your children what they think of the man like that you're dating at that time? Not like that she dates a lot, but it was just like a question. And she said to me, she's like, I do introduce them to the man that I'm dating, and I do ask them, because she has 2 girls, and she's like, I do ask them what their thoughts are, because I do value it, but I take it with a grain of salt because sometimes kids can be very mean. But then I asked her, well, have you taken it into a different perspective? Because kids are placed in a certain environment where, they're constantly in groups, they're constantly judging humans, characters, and they're doing it under such a microscope that they can read a person so much better than we can, because we've grown to a different level. We have different priorities, different things that we have to worry about on a day-to-day basis. Kids, that's all they have. They have friendship, they have like play dates, they have things that we don't worry about anymore. And if a kid is more worried like about, this person doesn't seem so trustworthy, this person seems like a fun human being.
Yeah, kids can tell who's safe and who's the stranger
Exactly.
danger.
So if a kid is more likely, or they're more inclined to want to hang out with the person that you're dating, maybe you should give them that chance. But then if they have, after like 10 times of meeting, if they have like an icky feeling, go with that kid's gut, because that kid is never going to be wrong, because that is the environment that they are pushed in on a day-to-day basis, and they're dealing with bullies themselves, and other types
Stranger danger.
of other types of situations like that. So I mean, I had that conversation with her, and it was like an epiphany to me. I'm like, we need to be around more kids and ask them, like, interviews, like, so how do you feel about this person? Moral of the story, I thought that it was really interesting that she had that, like, view and perspective, like, after we had that conversation, and she was telling me that, yeah, I really do take it, like, into consideration because they have a great outlook on it.
The bottom line is if the woman feels safe with you and comfortable with you and you're a good dude and the kids feel safe around you, she's going to involve you in the kid's life usually within the first couple of months of dating when you get serious. Like that particular guy, he'd been with her for a year and he thought he had a girlfriend even though they were seeing each other maybe 2-3 times a month. And it was always, oh, I'm busy with this or soccer practice. He's like, well, I'll go with you. I can watch it. She's like, no, that's only like married stuff. And so she just kept him at arm's length. And I was just like, she doesn't want you around her kids, bro. And you're just a booty call.
Well, it was like that
You're a booty call when she's available and doesn't have the kids.
that one newsletter you did where the guy and the girl, she had a son or something like that, and she would always bring the kid on the date.
Yeah. And so nothing's happening. No kissy poo. No hanky-panky, no beating up her pelvis, because the kid is always there. But she sure likes the expensive dinners and the drinks and her, or him, buying her kid a meal. And then he gets a nice hug or a peck on the cheek when he drops her off. And he's not getting anywhere. And he's, like, frustrated that every time he tries to make dates, she's like, darn it, I just can't find a babysitter. And so she's always got the kid there. She's using the kid as a blocker. Or it's the same thing when women do, like they'll bring one of their girlfriends. It's basically, hey, there's no way they're sleeping with you, but they'll certainly let you buy them lunch, buy them dinner, buy them drinks, buy their girlfriends drinks, buy their kids food or whatever. But you're not going to get one-on-one time. So if a woman likes you, she's going to make herself available to you. And if she doesn't, she'll put obstacles and roadblocks in your way.
I think that sometimes women do bring like other women around, especially if the other one is single, so that that woman can feel comfortable that like she has like a home base to come back to, and then she can like venture out and like go to
you
like
don't
a
do
bar.
group dates. You don't go out on a date with a chick who insists on bringing her girlfriend. You're either into one-on-one or no deal.